Together with Earle Sports Bets, yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we save, making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. My name is Nicholas Earle. I'm joined here as always by my brother Tim. And today we get a full baseball card here on September the 10th. And then we have 3 WNBA games to close the card out with. I'm actually really interested in 2 of them. I was deep diving into those games earlier. A couple spots I'm really interested in. So we'll be able to close out the show with that as well. But before we get into today's games, before we get into today's slate, quick recap of yesterday. It was a slight down day. Baseball was profitable. The only thing that was not was the NFL. I took the Jets plus 4.5. They lost. I had a bad feeling once. I betted a couple days ago, and then I saw everybody and their mom on Twitter posting the Jets. And I'm like, okay, great. This is going to lose. So it happens. Sometimes you're just early to a public play, I guess. Baseball went 3-3. It should have been 4-2. It started off 1-3. Cashed the under in Cincinnati, Atlanta, under 8.5. My boy Nick Martinez, 7 shutdown innings. I don't know what it is. I love Nick Martinez. And I don't know why. I can't explain why. But he's pitched pretty well as of late. And I feel like he's just a pitcher that's undervalued. He's on my rotation. Along with, I don't know if I have any of my rotation guys going today though, because I really like him, Sean Manaea, for whatever reason, Patrick Corbin. I don't get my love towards Patrick Corbin, but it is what it is. I'm trying to remember the other guys I really like.
I like David Peterson.
Yeah, I have a feeling. Yeah, I have a feeling next season, Caden Dana can make it into that list. 20-year-old playing for the Angels. I think they called him up that fast for a reason. He had a blow-up start in his last one. But anyways, under 8.5, Nick Martinez shoves. Love to see it. And more importantly, the Braves lose. And one thing I failed to realize with that game, Tim, is the Braves went from playing on Sunday against the Blue Jays. They played one game against the Reds, and now they're in Washington. Mm-hmm. So that was a weird spot for them. We saw that earlier in the year where they had a one-game makeup thing, and they lost by the exact same score. They were on the road against the White Sox, but they lost 1-0. Pittsburgh run line should have won. 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth, or 2 outs in the top of the 9th inning. Miami gets a meaningless double, drives home a run, and kills the run line. First 5 under 5 was a loser. Boston and Baltimore. Cade Povich couldn't pitch well against a Red Sox team that doesn't hit lefties. So that was frustrating to watch. All of a sudden, the offense is picked back up for LA and Minnesota that hadn't been hitting in a while. The first 5 goes over 4. 4-2, loser there. But then ended off the night really, really well. I doubled up on it, and I think we have a very similar situation for tonight as well. I faded Walker Buehler extra last night. Yes, I usually have the Dodger fade. Cool. I had the Cubs plus 160, which was a winner. I also had the over 9.5 because I wanted to fade Walker Buehler, and Kyle Hendricks was on the opposite side as well, which he pitched well, all things considered. I need to take a look at how far he went into the game, but he shut down the Dodgers the first 4 innings. So he pitched pretty well last night, all things considered. I don't know if he pitched long enough for the win. So what did he do last night? I'm curious now. Kyle Hendricks had 4 1/3 innings, gave up 2 earned runs on 4 hits. Against the Dodgers, you'll take it there. So a nice double-up winner to end the night, which helped me finish positive in baseball for the night. 3-3 up 0.2 units in baseball, but 0-1 down 1.15 in football. So slight losing day, but I'm coming into this slate with Nothing. Absolutely nothing. So I will be capping and bet, or I've capped these games. I'll be betting everything on the show here.
Yesterday was a disaster. There's nothing really to kind of state otherwise. It just everything that could go wrong went wrong besides the Mets for me. The Mets won, and that was about it. On the site, we had Pittsburgh run line, and we had the Jets. Both of those losers. And you know what? The Jets are exactly what I said they were. And you kept hyping them up. They suck. They're not going to be a playoff team. The playoff drought's going to be extended. They are terrible. And as soon as you realize that, Nick, it will be a lot easier for all of us because they are not a good team. They have a good defense.
They played the 49ers.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. They are not a good team, and I have zero expectations on them, like I did in the beginning of the year. By the way, I also had the Royals last night, so both of those losers. Just an absolute ugly day to cap off an absolutely ugly weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday were absolute dog shit. And now I get to go into the chat and hear all about the Jets, so I'm having a great freaking day.
All right. Nice to have you back on the show, Tim.
Yeah, there you go. I'm also updating the what do you call it? The Orioles backing, and it has not been good since I forgot to check it recently. So able to go to the chat, and then we'll kind of go from there.
Yeah. Let's take a look at the chat. Hello, my boys. Did you rip up your Jets Super Bowl tickets? No,
I have them to miss the playoffs at plus 160, so that's going to be great.
One game does not make or break a season.
I don't care. They are not a good team.
I know.
And
they played the honestly the best team in the NFC though. Like they played the team that should be representing the NFC in the Super Bowl this year, other than maybe the Detroit Lions. I think it could easily be Lions Niners again in the NFC Championship game. So no, I am cutting them a break. They started on the road. It was Rodgers' first game in a while, and it was the 49ers. I'm cutting them a break for that one. They're going to come back. They're going to beat the Titans next week, and we'll move on from there. So,
if you say so.
Happy Pablo Lopez Day, Ranger Suarez Day, David Peterson Day. Yeah, you got a couple of your rotation guys there. You love Pablo Lopez and Suarez and Peterson. So yeah. Twins cash cow. I'll have to take a look at that market. I guess prime time don't exist anymore. I guess primetime unders. I realize we haven't bet a single primetime under this year. So, I have yet to bet a primetime under this year. I got close to betting the under in Lions Rams. I think that was the only one I got close to. I think I leaned under in that Ravens game, but didn't bet it, which depending on the number you got, if you got 46.5, you lost. 47, you pushed. 47.5, you won. So, yeah. How about the Niners? They're going to be a good team this year. I never said the Niners were going to be a bad team. I just thought that line was too wide, and I was wrong. I thought that was going to be a field goal game. So, I hate to say it. I think the Mets are the number one play today. Stop. Stop. Plus, Vladdy might be out. Okay. The Niners, good job. Supness. The Jets' schedule is so pitiful. The next 5 games, they could go 4-1. Stop with the drama. That's another thing where now they're the only AFC East team that yet to win a game because the other ones won, and 2 of them play each other this week. But there's a reason why I took the Jets to win the division. Their schedule is the easiest in their division too. They have one of the easier schedules in the upcoming year. So they will be fine. Starting off with the 49ers is not fun, though. So, walked 12 miles yesterday. There you go. Got my steps in for 2 weeks. Hell yeah. You better not go against my Niners again, best friend. Why do you do me like that, man? I will bet on and against any team. It's never personal. It is nothing along those lines. I don't care who you are, who you're playing, where you're playing. I will bet on or against any team. Pretty plain and simple. I would Jets. I would Tim. I don't think the Jets are good. Fair. Tim is doing the perverse jinx with the Jets. He doesn't mean it. I think Tim actually means it because he's so used to them being bad.
I don't understand why everybody was hyping them up. They haven't made the playoffs since Mark Sanchez, and everybody's hyped up on trying to say the Jets are a good team. I'm not buying it. I think it's all bullshit.
Fair. Are there 3 wildcard teams? Yes, there's 3 wildcard teams in baseball. Right now, that would be the Orioles, Royals, and Twins, and it would be the Padres, Diamondbacks, and Mets. So, yeah. Going under in that Titans game, I can see the under because I think that the Jets defense can shut down Will Levis. I think it's the first time the Jets have been favored by more than a field goal in 9 years. They lost that game to TJ Yates and the Houston Texans as 4.5-point favorites. Takeaways from Monday night: Rodgers looks old in 2011. 49ers O-line looks good. And Brandon got paid, but Jennings is the best receiver on the team. Takeaways, Aaron Rodgers looked rusty. I think next week he'll be fine. The defense looked gassed because the offense had 3 and outs on every single drive in the first half except for the touchdown drive. And at one point, the time of possession was 35-15. So there, Jennings looked good. The 49ers look good. The 49ers are probably going to be the team that is at least going to make the divisional round, if not the championship round, if not the Super Bowl again. So it's a team that's made the conference finals in, 2 straight years? The 49ers are a good football team. Tone Playman, okay. I will bet against them plenty when they are stupid favorites and I don't see, and there's no value on them. Yeah, my bet under. Yeah, you're good. Hey. I don't care about teams. I don't. I care about numbers. And if a number's too wide, it's too wide. The 49ers are not going to go 17-0 ATS this year. Breaking news. Because they're going to lose football games. They're going to lose football games as favorites. You got to find those spots. Twins and Tigers need Royals to start losing. Yes. Really, I think the Royals are in a playoff spot. I would like to. That sweep over the Twins, I think, punched their ticket to the playoffs. Personally, now the Twins, they lose again to the Angels last night. Watch out, Twins! The Tigers are 3 games behind you now. Like all of a sudden, Twins lose again tonight. Tigers get a win. Talk about a Tigers team with 2 games out, and anything can happen. Do they play each other at all? That's my question. Do the Tigers play the Twins for any of the remaining games? They do not.
No.
The Tigers look. Yeah, the Tigers here's their schedule at the end of the year. Rockies, Orioles, Royals, Rays, White Sox. They end the year with the White Sox, the Tigers. And that could be a sweep to put them into the playoffs. Like, I'm going to plant my flag. The Detroit Tigers are going to make the playoffs. And the Twins are going to fall out. So. I am the real Tim. Hello, Tim Smith. He's the real Tim.
Okay, that's fine.
Mark Sanchez. Goddamn, I haven't heard that name in a minute. Yeah. The Cubs are 5 games back. They are done. Yeah, they probably are. We get a fun matchup with that one though. We'll talk about that. That'll be the last baseball game we cover. But we get the return of Yoshinobu Yamamoto for that game, and I would like to fade him the same way, like total wise. I would like to take an over potentially in that game, the same way I faded Walker Buehler with an over and team total overs the last few times I've seen him pitch. So we'll see. Better off opening butt suckers. Fair. I want to see girls versus Earle's record for the week. We will have a separate video for that.
I have it right here if you want it.
Yeah, we will have a separate video for that. We got to tease it a little bit to get them to watch the video. If we show it here, nobody's going to want to watch the video. So we will be coming out. We will be recording that video probably after the week.
I'll give you a hint. Me and Nick are not winning. There you go.
There you go. Orioles money line plus 114. Bounce back. We'll get into that, but I gotta see where the Orioles are. The Orioles are probably like I look, they're like the 7th game we'll go over. So we'll get into that in a little bit. In fact, it's DMV day, Orioles and Nats. I was looking at said Nationals. I was either looking at Natty's first 5 or the under. In that game, we'll get into that. You can never go wrong with the Braves under. So there's that. Good morning, guys. What's good, Max? Last Thursday, Chiefs are winning the Super Bowl. Then the Cowboys were winning the Super Bowl today. Tuesday, the 49ers are winning the Super Bowl. I'm sticking to my preseason prediction. It's the Detroit Lions. I think the Detroit Lions win the Super Bowl this year. I'm sticking with my preseason prediction there. So, but we will head into the Diamond in this game, where we will kick it on off with the Miami Marlins and the Pittsburgh Pirates. The Pirates are minus 140 favorites with a total of 9 in this game. We did have a pitching change in this spot. This line opened up at a 135. It's now a 150 for the Pirates. Line opened up in an 9.5. It's down to an 8. So we'll move towards the under and move towards these Pirates. We got we have Modinsky against Adam Oller. Oller's actually not been terrible, all things considered, because he was not good last year with the A's, if I remember right. We have 80% of tickets, 83% of the cash is on the Pirates. The market is moving towards said Pirates, though. And then we have 76% of tickets and 77% of the cash on the over. And the lines move towards the under here in the spot. Does make the under a little bit appealing in this game here. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. We have Carmen Lodetsky taking on Adam Oller. Oller's been good. 3.31 ERA, 1.04 whip, 8.82 strikeouts per 9, which is 24%. 4.41 walks per 9, a 179 BABIP, a 4.66 FIP, and a 4.63 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Lodinsky, which I believe is a bullpen arm. Here, let's see. Lodinsky. Yeah, it's a bullpen game for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Bullpen edge does go towards Miami. Hitting edge goes towards Miami, 110 WRC plus, which is 12th, compared to 88, which is 27th. The line moving towards Pittsburgh, I think, is very telling. I'm going to be on Pittsburgh -1, obviously, there. But when you look at Adam Oller, he's been good as of late, a 3.31 ERA and a 104 whip. But when you look at his FIP and his SIERA, 4.66 and 4.63, shows that he is definitely pitching over expectations. So for me, I know it's just back to the same thing, but I'm going to be on the Pirates -1 here. Be a goldfish when it comes to this. If it lose, yeah. So I'm going to be on the Pirates -1 here.
Yeah, it's the Marlins fade. I'm gonna go and quickly check the site to see exactly what the Marlins fade is this year, because I want an updated number on that one. So I am going to be on the Pittsburgh Pirates. We took them on the run line at around +140, and we're just going to continue the Marlins fade. So nothing really crazy with it. So I'm just going to keep doing that.
Fair. Back to the chat. I'm getting, I think, -150 +140 for the -1 line.
Right. Are you able to go to the chat?
Okay, I'll wait to bet it then.
Okay, that's fine. I'm getting the numbers for the Marlins fade this year, so I wanted to see exactly where it's at.
There you go. Phillies run line, Diamondbacks run line, Dodger money line, Guardians -1.5. Fair. Ravens will
win the Super Bowl?
No. I'm not a believer in the Ravens. They need to win in the playoffs first. There we go. Lock that in, y'all. Go get some. Stop fish fade. Nope. We're profitable on that for a reason. Still like the Jets to go to the Super Bowl. I'm not reading too much into last night. I really am not. It was Aaron Rodgers' first game back in a while. Yes. I will stick with that because it's just week 1. Can we stop overreacting? It makes me love the Jets in week 2, by the way. Those fish are feisty. They're annoying. And they still suck. They're going to lose over 100 games. Brewers money line. There you go. Marlins money line. Pirates lose most of the games after Skeen's pitches. I'm going to go rock out to Nickelback. Great choice in bands. Very smart man there. Captain debate tonight, Earle. What do you odds to who wins? That's very odds to who wins a debate. Like there's no scoring behind it. Like I am interested in watching it a little bit. I'm interested in how Trump looks when he's debating somebody who can actually string together 2 sentences and is not completely senile. So there's that. I don't know how to cap a debate like that though.
Easy on the politics talk, please.
Fair. But no, I don't know how to cap that though. There's no winners or losers, and we
all lose. Move on.
There's no money lines you can bet there, so no. Under Pirates, fair. Berger home run, O'Neal Cruz home run, Pirates money line. Not believe that I'm trolling that Ravens, fair. And Jesus Sanchez home run. There you go. We'll move on. We have the Philadelphia Phillies and the Tampa Bay Rays, minus 165 favorites for the Phillies. Total of 7 in this game, a low total in this one here. We do have Ranger Suarez taking on Tage Bradley, so I guess I do understand the low total. Line opened up at a 190. It's now a 162, so we have a decent move here towards these Rays. We have a full run move down. This line opened up at an 8, got down to a 7.5. Now it's down to a 7. So a full run move down towards the under, which is interesting there. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this one, 97 and 96 on the over, 91 and 97 on the Phillies. In this one, the line's moving towards the under, and the line's moving towards the Rays in this game here. Tage Bradley, it's tough to trust right now, though. As I click off a different tab in my screen, go all black. That's fun. There we go. We have Bradley with a 10.41 ERA, 2.01 whip, 6.94 strikeouts per 9, which is 16%. 3.86 walks per 9, a 383 BABIP, a 6.4 FIP, and a 5.13 Sierra. Ranger Suarez, I think will look good. 5 ERA, 1.22 whip. He's been struggling a little bit as of late, but his advanced numbers look a little bit better. 12 strikeouts per 9, which is 32%. 2 walks per 9, a 333 BABIP, a 408 FIP, and a 2.77 Sierra. The bullpen edge goes towards the Phillies. The hitting edge goes towards the Phillies. 107 WRC plus, which is 13th, compared to 59, which is 26th. It's ultimately going to be a no play for me in this game. I'm kind of curious to see how Tage Bradley will look because he's really struggled as of late. I wanted the under a little bit, but not with it moving a full run down. When a line moves a full run down, then I'm no longer interested in the under. And I guess I would lean maybe Rays first 5 plus a half with the low variance potentially here. But no play here for me.
Yeah, I'm not really going to be too inclined to want to go after this one. The Tampa Bay Rays are still kind of out of it. They're 2 games under 500. They're not going to do anything this year. Coming off of losing the game, I believe, did that one go into extras? No, it was a 9th inning walk-off last night. I don't know. The Rays are just a team that I kind of got right. They, in my opinion, they were going to be a 4th place team, and that's where they are. So I'm not really too interested in them. I'll be rooting for the Rays tonight, but the Phillies should win this game. If they don't, then they're I don't know. That could be a little bit concerning, considering that the Phillies just split a series with the Marlins, which is very concerning. But
I'm not concerned.
But I don't even think I would have lean in this game. So.
Yeah. See, I'm not overly concerned about the Phillies because they're kind of just coasting at this point. They know the division's on lock. They're not losing the division, so they just want to stay healthy the rest of the year. So I can understand them wanting to just they have the ability where they've played well enough where they can just coast. So I think that's something that they can do here. That's why I'm not concerned about them.
There you go. Back to the channel.
Yep.
Yeah, go ahead.
Still got to bet that Pirates game. Let's see here. Great answer, Tim. We all lose.
Yeah. It's politics. We all lose. Okay.
Philly run line. Bryce and Kyle hitting dingers. Philly smash.
They should.
Ranger Suarez we trust. Y'all doing WNBA today? Yes, I'm very interested in a couple games.
I have to go look at those games.
Yep. There's a couple spots I'm actually really, really interested in that I would like to move on. Phillies Nerfy. What's the magic numbers for my Fighting Phils? Who is your team? I thought you were a Yankees fan. So
it's 12, and Mr. Numbers is a clown because he likes to root for everybody against the Mets.
Oh, okay. Okay.
He's not really a fan of anybody, or at least I don't believe he is. He's just a Mets hater. That's all he is. So
imagine hating a team so irrelevant.
I mean, he's doing it with the Jets too. So I mean, how bored do you have to be?
We'll move on though. 24 more days until puck drop. See you later, MLB. We will continue to talk MLB throughout the entire World Series. I mean, baseball is going nowhere on this channel. It'll be fun, the shows where we talk about baseball, basketball, and hockey and football. I think there will be one show where everything overlaps, which will be a lot of fun, and it'll be a long show. But I think there will be one there. Phillies plus 2.5. Really? What is that? Minus 1,100?
Come on, dude. You can't come in with that crap.
Rays are competing. I give them credit. It's never easy. Fair. Cash cow. Nope. The line's moved against Philly. Yes, Ranger is a Ranger. Oh, yeah. Nola, baby, taking care of business and working overtime workout. Yeah, that was a frustrating game. Or you can plus 2.5 the Rays. Fair. With the low variance, I mean that's probably what minus 200, minus 300 for the plus 2.5. I don't know if I'd completely do that, but we'll move on. One of the hottest teams in baseball since the All-Star break. It is the Detroit Tigers. The Tigers minus 170 favorites in this game, total of 8.5. The line opened up at a 170. It's now 176. Line opened up at an 8.5 at minus 120. It's now an 8.5 at minus 113. So we have a move towards the under. We have a move towards the Tigers. 84% of tickets, 87% of the cash is on the over. The line moving towards the under. 89 and 92 on the Tigers. In this game here, we have Bradley Blaylock taking on Kiter Montero. Blaylock, a 5.61 ERA, 1.71 whip, 5.61 strikeouts per nine, which is 13%, 4.91 walks per nine, a 3.07 BABIP, but 3.21 FIP, and a 5.94 Sierra. On the flip side, Montero, 5.18 ERA, 1.58 whip, no, 5.6 whip, 6.66 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%. 4.81 walks per nine, a 3.11 BABIP, but 4.37 FIP, and a 5.35 Sierra. The bullpen edge is a pretty massive one towards the Tigers. The hitting edge as well towards the Tigers here. 110 WRC plus, which is 10th, compared to 92, which is 24th. If this can tick up by the end of the show to 180 on Bet Online, it's a cash cow play. Other than that, I'm staying off for the moment, but I would only look Tigers run line in this game. Maybe Tigers -1 is a decent look at the moment. I want to take a look at what that -1 line would be because I think that you could probably grab a -1 now at a decent number before it gets up to cash cow range, which 175, 115. I want to take a look at what that is. The -1 line would be -128. I think I want to move on that. I think I'm going to move on Tigers -1, -128 here to go along with my Pirates -1.
Sounds good. Got one more thing to type in. I don't have the exact record, but the Marlins fade is up 7.73 units this year.
Nice.
So nice.
Profitable.
And in the profit. So that's always nice. And I'm taking the Tigers. This has been a Tigers team that's been hot. And you know I like to back the hot teams. And since the All-Star break, I believe – who's better? Oakland and
Houston.
Houston, that's it?
Yep. In the American League.
In the American League, at least. I know the Mets and the Dodgers and D-backs and Padres are all been hotter since the All-Star break.
I think so.
Just proving the National League is better than the American League, but that's not the point. I think the Tigers sweep the series coming up because they get Colorado for the next 3 games at home, and then they get the Baltimore Orioles. That will be a really big task for Detroit, but I'll take Detroit tonight I got them plus 120 on the run line. Take care of business if you want to have a shot to still compete in the playoffs or for the playoffs. This is how you do it. You got to beat the bad teams. Colorado's a bad team.
Yep. That's a minus 104, and then
Rockies upset. Tigers best pitching in MLB, believe 4.46 yet. Yeah.
They have the Cy Young winner, so I mean that's kind of an easy statement to make.
Taliga home run. Oof. Do these Rockies strike out a lot? I believe they do. Tigers easy. Oh, you guys would have been up 10 units if you stopped fading the fish 3 days ago. Okay. 4.46. I don't know how many times we're going to tell you this. We're not stopping the fade. You could tell us a million times. We're not stopping. So you doing it is just you're just wasting your tappy fingers. Give your fingers a break. Hashtag stop fish fade. If you liked us, well, the fish fade is up 7.73 units this year on the site. So come on. Rockies hit the ball way harder than the Tigers, though. Like slugging percentage.
They also play in Coors.
Yeah. Minus 180 for Montero is a no-go. But they're against the Rockies, so. Let's jump into this one, Nick.
Yeah. The Atlanta Braves and the Washington Nationals. I'm actually very interested in this game. Unfortunately, I can't watch this game because thank you, MLB Network, for blacking out Nationals games. And give my computer a second to reload. There we go. Because whenever I click off tabs, sometimes it likes to go black. We have Ronaldo Lopez taking on Mackenzie Gore. This line opened up with the Braves as, if it'll load, that'll be cool.
No loading.
Yeah, okay, there we go. It opened up with the Braves as minus 160 favorites. This line's down to a 130 now. So we do have a pretty good line movement towards the Washington Nationals. Line opened up at 8 at minus 120. It's now 8 at plus 103. So a 23-cent line movement here towards the under here as well. Let's take a look at the cash flow. 79% tickets, 84% cash on the Braves. Lines moving towards the Natties. And 67% of the tickets and 57% of the cash is on the over. Lines moving towards the under. I mean, when in doubt, it feels like Braves unders are worth a look. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup. Ronaldo Lopez has been awesome. 1.96 ERA, 0.96 whip. 13.3 strikeouts per nine, which is 38%. 1.96 walks per nine, a 2.92 BABIP, but 2.57 FIP, and a 2.33 SIERA. On the flip side, Mackenzie Gore, 2.93 ERA, 1.37 whip. He's been much better as of late. He struggled for a little bit during the middle of the season, during the summer there. 8.78 strikeouts per nine, which is 23%. 3.25 walks per nine, a 3.33 BABIP, a 3.36 FIP, and a 3.95 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards Atlanta. Atlanta has one of the better bullpens in baseball. And the hitting edge goes towards Atlanta as well. 115 WRC plus, which is third, compared to 102, which is 14th. For me, I think this is just an under. I was staring down Nationals first 5. I still think the Nationals are probably it's dog or pass in this game if I'm looking at a side in this one. But for me, it's when in doubt, Braves unders. I've cashed the last couple days with Brave unders, and I think I'm just going to continue going back to the well. This starting pitching rotation for the Braves has not let up more than 3 earned runs, starting pitcher, in 28 consecutive games. Like, they have arguably the best rotation in baseball. If only this team could hit a little bit, then they would be, like, golden. And I'm getting an 8 still on Bet365. I'm going to play the under 8 here, minus 120 over on Bet365.
All right, I loaded up both of these, Nick. Took the Nationals in the under. I can see this one being a 3-2 type of game for the Nationals. Expect this one to be a competitive game and a very close one in the entire game. I can see both starting pitchers. I can see this being 1-0 at the end of 6. Like, I could really see this one being a low-scoring under type of game. And I do like the Nationals. The line movement kind of tells you that. And this is just a Nationals team that I want to compare to the Oakland Athletics. They're going to be scrappy teams down the stretch. And there's going to be teams that you look at that you like, teams that are out of it that you want to back compared to teams that are out of it that you want nothing to do with. The White Sox, nothing to do with. The Nationals, the Oakland Athletics are going to be teams that I'm interested in, because they have a lot of young talent coming up, that want to prove themselves in the pros. The White Sox, yeah, they don't have that type of stuff. The Rockies, they don't have that type of stuff.
Rockies are kind of fun. But yeah.
Miami, absolutely not. They have nothing going for them.
I think you can throw the Rangers as a team you'd want to probably back the last few weeks, especially when they're bringing up young guys. Kamar Rocker starting on Thursday.
Rocker starting on Thursday, but I don't see Texas being a team that I would want to back like that. I can't even say the Angels.
The Angels with
Loki Toronto after this series could be interesting to want to bet, seeing that they're out of it. But even the Tigers, even if they get out of it a little bit, I still think they're going to be scrappy for the rest of the year. So there's some teams that you're going to want to back, some teams that you don't. The Nationals are going to be a team that I want to back down the stretch.
Yeah, see, for me, the Angels are interesting, but they are only interesting on a couple of spots. I want to see Caden Dana pitch, a 20-year-old. I want to see a little bit more from Jack Honowitz, a little bit there. And they have a third guy that they brought up. It was the Italian. I'm trying to remember who the guy's name. It was the one Italian pitcher that they brought up that's looked okay.
Nationals did?
No. The Angels. It was nope. That was the Dana start. Where's the Angels here? Alderghetti. Yeah. I want to see what he looks like. I want to see Caden Dana. I want to see Jack Honowitz. Those are the three. Like the Griffin Canning starts. No, thank you. Reed Detmers is another guy I want to see pitch because they sent him down to AAA this year and now he's coming back. But yeah, the Angels pitching staff kind of is like a sneaky one I want to watch as well for unders.
I got you. Under 8.5. There you go.
Under 8. Yep.
Under 8. Yeah. Braves, no. Under 9.5. So you're just buying more. I'm not going to buy it. So, Washington money line. They had the day off. I like it. Under 43.5 in the Jets game killed me last night. That game sucked in general. We're not going to talk about it anymore. Honestly, only up 7 units on the fish fade is shocking. I thought your profit would be more on 15. If you thought that, then that sounds a little bit crazy. I believe if we would have done fading the Marlins on the money line and the run line, we'd be up like 15 or so. Maybe. Because Marlins have played a lot of one-run games.
I think my record fading the Marlins is better because I've had a bunch of pushes, I think, on -1s against the Marlins.
And you got to keep – this is the only time that I would say your -1s would be better than the run lines is when your -1s are -140 and the run lines are even money. It's not really much of a difference. But when your -1s are even money plus 105 and I'm getting plus 150, plus 160 for my run lines, that's a little different.
Yep.
But when the run lines are even money or towards the minus money, that's when your -1s could be a little bit better, a little bit safer.
That's the difference. But with the way that though, if the -1 line is going to just put me at like a -140, I just take the run line. I think that I do -1s up to -135. So if it's anything higher than that, I play the run line. So most of the time, my -1 lines don't exceed that. So I'll have to take a look back and I did the Dodger fade yesterday, which I have to update it from last night's, which I'm down I think 1.6 units. All things considered, down I think they're 26 games under fading the Dodgers this year because I didn't fade them 2 games with the Marlins. By the way, my record back in the Marlins is actually really strong this year. It's 2-2, but I'm up big because both times I backed them, there were -300 fades.
There you go. Parlay piece is the Nationals' first 5. Don't hate it. Blame 446. Yes, we blame 446 for everything. It's a lot more fun that way. It's all good. Fernando under. This game has under. No, we're not stopping fish fade. First 5 under 4.5 / Washington lean. Washington money line. Yes.
I don't hit that first 5 under 2.
Killed me. Stop being silly. Okay. I knew I was absolutely doing yesterday when Sneaks -1.5. They 3-2 win. Yeah, that was not fun yesterday. I got completely destroyed yesterday, so it has been rough. I got destroyed the entire weekend, but that's not the point. Well, hopefully have a bounce back today. And hopefully this team has a bounce back today.
Yeah, with the Kansas City Royals and the New York Yankees, the Royals were coming in off of a sweep against the Twins. They lose last night. I think they would have pushed the first 5, so the play I was looking at in that game would have just like been basically null and void. Let's take a look here. Fun matchup: Marcus Stroman, Seth Lugo. Line opened up 140 to 138. Line opened up 8.5 minus 110. It's down to 8.5 minus 113. So move towards the over and a slight move towards these Royals. 90% of the tickets, 94% of cash on the Yankees. Lines move slightly towards KC. 87 and 88 on the over here as well, with the line moving slightly towards it. Now let's take a look at the cash flow or the pitching matchup here. Seth Lugo has kind of regressed a little bit in the second half here. 4.75 ERA, 1.45 WHIP, 8.31 strikeouts per nine, which is 21%. 2.37 walks per nine, a 370 BABIP, but a 308 FIP and a 3.87 SIERA. I expect slightly better from him. And on the flip side, Marcus Stroman, 3.71 ERA, 1.50 WHIP, 6.41 strikeouts per nine, which is 17%, 3.04 walks per nine, a 356 BABIP, a 277 FIP, and a 4.49 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Royals. The hitting edge goes towards the Yankees, 116 WRC plus, which is 7th, compared to 91, which is 25th. Not a game I'm getting involved with personally. I guess I'd probably lean towards going back to the Royals in the first 5 innings again. Or I didn't bet it yesterday. It was just a lean for me. And I guess I slightly lean over the total because I can see Marcus Stroman getting hit a little bit in this game. But overall, it's a pass for me.
I'm going back to the well. I'm going to be on the Royals in this game. I like Seth Lugo. I've been big on Seth Lugo this entire year, and he's had a really good year. And I'm not a big Stroman guy. Both of these former Mets, I'll say. No, this is I'm hoping a bounce back spot for Kansas City, who has been playing some good baseball lately. They recently swept the Minnesota Twins. And then they lost last night to snap a 4-game winning streak. I think they get back on their winning ways today. I took Kansas City. I got plus 125 on it.
Fair. Wow, that first 5's moved a penny towards the under, but the full game has moved a few cents towards the over. That's kind of interesting there. You're telling that the bullpen's probably pitched better than the starters.
Royals run line first 5. Yankees smash. Kansas City bullpen is suspect. Spanky's run line. Somebody tells me Royals about to smack some. I hope so. Royals are broken frauds. They are like the Twins. They can't compete with the evil empire. Just because they can't beat the Yankees doesn't mean they're not a good team. Beating the Yankees isn't for everybody. I mean, only certain teams can sweep them throughout the entire. Oh shit. Stroman has been strong. Bobby Witt is taking Stroman yard. I hope so. The Yankees are. How could the Mets get rid of Lugo? That being said, Royals can't beat my Yanks. No way. The Mets got rid of him because the Mets wanted him in the bullpen. The Mets had a good rotation as it was, and he wanted to be a starting pitcher, so they let him go elsewhere.
You also got to think in mind, pitching in New York's not for everybody. He kind of struggled in New York, and now he's in a way lower pressure situation with KC, a small market team with absolutely no expectations and things along those lines. So it's an easier environment to pitch in as well.
It is, 100%. Hey, Nick.
Yeah.
Somebody part of my rotation is pitching in this game.
Oh, is it David Peterson?
It might be.
Yeah. We have David Peterson and Chris Bassett, former New York Met Chris Bassett. Line opened up at a 137, down to a 123. So we have a decent move towards Toronto in this game. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 110. It's now an 8 at minus 105 for the over. So 5-cent line movement towards the under here as well. 77% of the tickets and 55% of the cash on the Mets. The line's moving towards the Blue Jays. Kind of tells me the Blue Jays could be a little bit live in this game. 72% of the tickets and 83% of the cash is on the over, and the line's dropping a little bit here. Just 5 cents, though. David Peterson and Chris Bassett. Peterson, a 1.60 ERA, a 1.10 WHIP, 7.75 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%. A 2.67 walks per nine, a 272 BABIP, a 3.12 FIP, and a 3.96 ERA. On the flip side, Chris Bassett, 6 ERA, a 1.52 WHIP, 10.67 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%. 3 walks per nine, a 375 BABIP, a 4.55 FIP, and a 6 for Sierra. The bullpen edge goes towards the Mets. The hitting edge goes towards the Mets, 110 WRC plus, which is 11th, compared to 75, which is 22nd. Now, my cap without the market is that David Peterson is able to pitch well against the Blue Jays. And my question mark for pitching-wise, if I'm looking at an under in this game, is Chris Bassett. The market's telling me that Chris Bassett pitches well in this game. Line's moving towards the Blue Jays. The line is moving towards the under. The public is on the over. The line's dropping. The public's on the Mets. The line is dropping. So it tells me that the books think Chris Bassett pitches well. And when you look at fading the Blue Jays offense with an under, because that's where I'm looking at in this game as a first 5 under, because I don't trust the Blue Jays bullpen right now. It would be a first 5 under. The Blue Jays against righties the last 30 days, number 1 in baseball. They were 135 WRC plus. We talked about that yesterday. They're 22nd in baseball against lefties. They struggle against left-handed pitching. And David Peterson, I was listening to a podcast this morning, and one person was like, yeah, I'm finally coming around on David Peterson. He's somebody where he's pitching well, but I don't know how you're pitching well. Do people forget this guy was a first-round draft pick? Like, they had high expectations. He was a top prospect in baseball at one point, and I think he's finally pitching to his abilities. And I think that leads us to a first 5 under here. Line opened up at a 4 at minus 125 to the over. It's now 118 for the over 4 in the first 5 innings. So the line's moved towards the under here. I want to take a look where it's pitched for the first 5. And the line's moved 10 cents towards the Blue Jays in the first 5. I think Chris Bassett pitches well in this game. And I think David Peterson is able to pitch well against a Toronto lineup that struggles against left-handed pitching. So I'm going to go ahead and move on this first 5 under 4. And I'm going to shop around and try to find the best number. Maybe I can find a 4.5, and I'll be really happy with that.
I'll take the Mets. I've been on them this entire winning streak. Or they've won 10 out of 11, and
they're the hottest team in baseball.
They're like 17-6 their last 23. This Mets team has been really hot. Not to mention David Peterson, number 4 in pitcher profit rankings, only behind Jose Barrios, Sean Manaea, and Shota Amagano.
Which we'll talk about Shota later.
So this has been David Peterson's been great. The Mets are 14-3 when he pitches. Also, I'd like to throw out they made it to the top 5. Nick, do you want to take a guess on your top 5 most profitable teams in baseball according to Covers?
Top 5 most profitable teams.
Mm-hmm.
The Guardians.
Guardians are number 2.
Sounds weird, but I want to say Oakland. No? The Mets, because we're talking about them.
The Mets are there, yep.
The Yankees?
Nope.
Wow. The Dodgers? No, no, because they're not even profitable betting on them.
You got 2 and 5. The Mets are 5th. They finally got up there.
Nationals.
No. These are all playoff teams.
They're all playoff teams.
They're all playoff teams.
The Astros?
No.
Wow.
No, the Astros are not top 5.
Royals?
No.
What? How are the Royals not top 5 most profitable? That's insane. Just tell me. I'm
Royals are number 7.
I'm done guessing.
Number 5 was the Mets. Number 4 was San Diego. Number 3 was Arizona. 2 is Cleveland. Number 1, the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay.
But I'm on the Mets in this one. I took David Peterson. Let's roll.
I took first 5 under, and I got 4.5 at minus 130.
Latvia, Force Islands, BTTS, and over 2.5 goals. I got that's soccer, but Mets money line, I like it. Had 49ers, congratulations. David Peterson, you get a win, I like it. Mets smash, Bassett gonna get lit up, I like it. It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. Fine, hold on. Where is it? Am I blind?
Probably.
I think I'm blind, Nick. Can you help me out? Oh, I got it.
It's not always about the money, Spider-Man. It's about the Mets, baby. Love the Mets. All right, baby. Let's go. Get a home run, baby. Love the Mets. Let's go, Mets.
There you go. Under. I'm going to skip that comment. 5-2, 4-1 get type of game. Yeah, you think so, Nathan? Nemo, Lindor, Vientos hit parlay plus 174. There you go. Peterson 9-1 in his last 10. Yeah. Oh, sorry. He's 9-1 record this year. The Mets are 13-4 whenever he pitches, or 14-3 whenever he pitches. So, Jays backers, don't bet till you see Vladdy is playing. Lindor, Lindor's been fantastic. Lindor's having one of the best years in a long time. Unfortunately, there's going to be a DH from the Dodgers that's going to end up winning it, but we're not going to get into that. Why not? Two good starting pitchers, and the bats have seemed to be missing for both teams. D-backs. D-backs today. Who did the D-backs got? Texas with Gallen on that. Lindor 3 hits. I like it. Lindor is the MVP tonight. He will help me win my 3-unit bet. Lindor is just amazing. Unfortunately, 4-4-6. A DH is going to end up winning it, which is stupid. Because I know we make the argument a bunch, but to me, an MVP is a player that impacts the team the most. Without Lindor, the Mets are not even close to sniffing playoffs. Without Ohtani, this Dodger team was still number 1 in the league last year. So, to me, Ohtani can win the Hank Aaron Award, which is the best offensive player. I don't think Ohtani's the MVP.
Because at the end of the day, it stands for most valuable player, not most valuable hitter. He doesn't play half the game.
Yeah. Lindor should pitch, honestly? No. All the Met love is scary. You all jinx 4-4-6. No, I don't. He's just so good. One win for my Mets to get over 80 wins. They're going to get there. Yeah, low-key feel like the Mets too damn public today. I don't think so.
I do a little bit.
Soccer series. Okay. There you go. I already bet this game. I already updated it. The money line is negative, but we're still really in the positive for the Oriole fade. Or Oriole backing.
Fair. We have the Baltimore Orioles and the Boston Red Sox. Minus 130 for the Red Sox. Favorites once again. They won last night. Let's see if they can do it again tonight. Total of 9.5. I lost with that first 5 under, which was frustrating because it's annoying when my cap is that a team can't hit a certain side and then all of a sudden they can hit a certain side. Which that was the Red Sox last night. They can't hit lefties worth a lick, and then they light up Povich for four runs. Let's get into it here. We have Albert Suarez and Cutter Crawford. Line opened up at a 115 for Boston. It's now a 132. So we have a decent move towards these Boston Red Sox. Line opened up at a 9.5, went down to a 9, back up to a 9.5, back down to a 9. So we have a 9 at minus 102 now for the total. We have 81 and 81 on the over. We have 71 and 68 on the Red Sox. In this game, the line's moving towards the Red Sox, so the market makes sense on this game. Cutter Crawford and Albert Suarez. Suarez a 3.03 ERA, 1.21 WHIP, 6.07 strikeouts per 9, which is 17%, 1.57 walks per 9, a 286 BABIP, a 4.53 FIP, and a 4.53 SIERA. On the flip side, Cutter Crawford, 4.13 ERA, 0.81 WHIP, 6.99 strikeouts per 9, which is 20%, 2.54 walks per 9, a 176 BABIP, a 3.6 FIP, and a 4.55 SIERA. The bullpen edge does go towards the Baltimore Orioles, but everybody's got a better bullpen than Boston right now, it feels like. And the hitting edge does go towards Boston, 100 WRC plus, which is 17th, compared to 96, which is 19th. A confusing game for me. I'd probably only look Boston in this game if I had to play a side in this game, and I'd probably only look under with the way the market's moving. It's gone from a 9.5 down to a 9 with all the money on the over. It was juiced to the under on the 9.5 for that, and it would probably be first 5 under, obviously, for me, because that Boston bullpen is not trustworthy whatsoever, especially for an under. This first 5 is a 5. It got it. And this will ultimately keep me off of it. It opened up at a 4.5. It's now a 5. So they expect these pitchers to get hit a little bit early, and maybe the bullpens pitch well, which with the way the Red Sox bullpen is pitching as of late, I do not trust that whatsoever. So it's a pass for me. I'd only look under in this game first 5, but I don't like the way the line's moving.
I'm not going to dive deep into this game because I know some people will get annoyed, but I'm on the Orioles. Day 146. We're up about 18 units on the year. So I'm going to keep riding with that. I was able to get 120 for the money line and 175 for the run line. So that's where I'm going to be running with this one next. So continuing my Oriole every single day, as per usual, even if people don't like it.
Sure.
Do that. Okay, and post. Over. I see an over in the Red Sox game. I can see it. I can't trust B-more right now until the playoffs. Boston Red Sox money line and the over. Orioles race to 2-3. Orioles money line. Orioles less reverse run line first 5. Let's get it. Red Sox need the series to make the playoffs.
The Red Sox.
Just because they need it doesn't mean they're gonna get it. You know that. Right?
I mean, the Red Sox are right in the same spot as the Tigers and the Mariners. We're just talking about the Tigers a lot differently, though, than we were with the Red Sox because of the way they've been playing as of late.
There you go. Lean with Cookie Cutter Crawford and the Red Sox for pass. Duran and Yoshida hit parlay. Rafael Devers. Have you ever seen a more hyped team than the O's? They have been a disaster in the second half.
The Yankees?
Can we just say the Orioles are still one of the best teams in baseball? Record-wise, they're still one of the best teams in baseball. And if you expect a team to continue, they were still winning at a .566 win percentage. They're only a game and a half behind the Yankees. They're a half game behind Cleveland. So they're the third best team in the American League. And they're a game back of Milwaukee because of loss column. And they're behind Philadelphia and LA, which everybody's behind Philadelphia and LA. This is still one of the best teams in baseball. I don't think you could say overhyped. Because they're competing with the Yankees right now. Unless you think the Yankees are overhyped.
They kind of are.
I don't think you can say the Orioles are overhyped unless you say the Yankees are also overhyped because the Yankees are a game and a half better.
And they got off to that good start too, and it's really in the American League East. They have 2 of the better records in the American League and 2 of the better records in baseball. But it's been an absolute mid-off since the All-Star break.
Yeah,
they've been average baseball teams since the All-Star break.
MLB needs the Red Sox to make the playoffs. No, they do not. No, they do not. Mets are going to be an even bigger underdog with Manaea on the bump tomorrow.
I don't think so. Manaea's been the race.
Boston Red Sox. Hey, Nicholas, till I got you for DK on Orioles, +2.5 and race to 2, 3 single parlay at +104.
Good luck.
Imagine if you stopped. Well, then I wouldn't. See, if I stopped, then it wouldn't be Orioles every single day. It would be Orioles until I wanted to stop. Now, if I would have said Orioles until I wanted to stop, yeah, I could have stopped. That's not me. I said Orioles every single day, so that means, ready for this, 446? Orioles every single day. It's not Orioles when I feel like it. It's not Orioles until I don't want to do it anymore. It's Orioles every single day. That's the experiment I wanted to run. It is still very profitable. And at the end of the day, I wouldn't view any profitability on anything in that until the end of the year anyway. The whole point was I wanted to test out how good it would be. And it's been great. It's been profitable. That's all that matters. Thank you. I'm excited for the MLB playoffs fall season baseball. I hope I am too. Met favorites.
Yeah.
I got you.
fun game this is. The Twins are minus 240 total weight in this game. Griffin Kennedy and Pablo Lopez are starting pitchers for this one here. Line opened up at 225. It's now 240. Line opened up at an 8 at plus 105. It's now an 8 at minus 110. Projecting that we see Griffin Canning get hit here. 98 and 99 is on the over. 92 and 98 is on the Twins on this game. We've got a 15-cent line movement towards the Twins with the public on the Twins and the total later higher. Put 2 and 2 together. Griffin Canning and Pablo Lopez. Canning a 4.5 ERA, 1.27 WHIP, 8.18 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 3.68 walks per nine, a 281 BABIP, a 4.36 WHIP, and a 4.31 Sierra. On the flip side, Pablo Lopez a 1.35 ERA, 1.02 WHIP, 7.83 strikeouts per nine, which is 22%, 1.35 walks per nine, a 295 BABIP, a 2.55 FIP, and a 3.32 Sierra. Bullpen edge, Minnesota. Hitting edge, Minnesota. 95 WRC plus, which is 21st, compared to 74, which is 30th. Twins. They're at home. Public's on them. Lines move 15 cents towards them. It's 180 to 280. Total.
Best line I can get with it. I think minus 108. Looks like we're taking Twinkies today, Nick.
Yep.
Okay, let me put that in. Thank you. Cash cow spots.
Okay, my friends. Here's my line Twins or fries. Here's my
Twins cash cow. Going to be on the Twinkies. Angels usually fall apart. They already. I can't hear them. What do you mean you can't hear them? Can you hear it? I'll put it real quick. Should be able to hear us. Test. No, I can hear us. We sound fine. It sounds okay on my end. I can hear it. Oh yeah. No, we're good.
We're good? We're good. All right, cool.
It went weird for a minute. Yeah, no. And by the way, Nick's muted. Look, we're in the same room. So, here I'll show you. I'll show you the setup. So, we're in the same room. He's right across, and the microphone's standing right there. So, we're good. And we only use this mic and stuff during shows, so it's not going to be any part of any videos and stuff. No, okay, everything's about the mic. Okay, we're good. All right, cool. Let's move on to the next game, Nick. Which I wish I took the run line again yesterday.
Yeah, I'm betting I'm just betting the Twins run line real quick. Minus 110 over on Fanatics. So there we go. Cleveland Guardians and the Chicago White Sox. The ultra elite Chicago White Sox. Grab your World Series futures now, White Sox. Minus 220 though for the Guardians, which is weird with how good the White Sox are. Sorry, I'll stop. Ben Lively and Jonathan Cannon, your pitching matchup here. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 115. It's actually up to an 8.5 now at even money, so move towards the over. Line opened up 205. It's now 220 for Cleveland. So move towards the Guardians and a move towards the over. 85% of tickets and 87% of cash on the over. 91 and 79 on the Guardians. Jonathan Cannon and Ben Lively. Lively's kind of slowed down as of late. 6.2 ERA, 1.62 WHIP. 5.84 strikeouts per nine, which is 14%, 3.28 walks per nine, a 3.18 BABIP, a 5.21 FIP, and a 5 Sierra. On the flip side, Jonathan Cannon, 6.39 ERA, 1.74 WHIP, 6.75 strikeouts per nine, which is 16%, 4.62 walks per nine, a 3.33 BABIP, a 5.9 FIP, and a 5.34 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards Cleveland. Hitting edge, It's a toss-up. 94 WRC plus, which is 22nd for the White Sox. 93, which is 23rd for the Guardians. So 1 WRC plus edge towards the White Sox. I've got nothing in this game. I would only look White Sox in this spot personally. I don't mind Jonathan Canning, but I don't trust Ben Lively anymore. He has regressed. I think he's way past his career high in innings. So I think he's a good prime regression candidate, and he is not somebody I'm looking to back. So it is a pass for me with a lean towards the White Sox first five.
I'm on the Guardians. I took the run liner on minus 125. This is just I wish I started fading them a lot more often. The White Sox are just a fade team. Obviously, they've lost 112 games this year. But I wish I faded them last night. I would have cashed the run line there. Although I think last night's run line was minus 140.
It was stupid, yeah.
If the run line is reasonable with the team going against the White Sox, I'm going to fade the White Sox every single day the rest of the season. Because they're going to end up crossing over the worst team in MLB history, and we'll finally be able to put the 1962 Mets behind us. Guardians run line minus 125. Yeah,
I believe that Mets team went 40 and 120. They only played 160 games that year. In order for the White Sox to not finish with the worst record of all time, they need to go in their last 17 games 8-9, which would be the best 17 game stretch of the season for them.
Let's look at their schedule real quick. See if they can do it.
No.
Cleveland.
No.
Okay. Oakland.
No.
At home.
No.
They could win a game in that series, maybe two. They go to LA to the Angels.
No.
Padres. Okay, no.
No.
Home against the Angels? Maybe.
I don't know who be getting. Maybe if they throw Griffin Canning in there, maybe. But if it's
at the Tigers, sorry.
No, the Tigers sweep them down the year. No, this team they need to go 8-9. They're going to go 4-13 at best.
There you go. Same room. I know you guys are living together. What happened? No, we're not living together. I'm in Greenville for a couple of days. On my days off from my other job, I come to Greenville, hang out with Nick, Destiny, and Sydney. So that's what we do. How in the hell? I know, right? I can just thank you.
Not.
It does look like we're in different locations because our computers are facing two opposite directions. That's actually Nick's tank. So Guardian smash. White Sox can't hit. Cleveland parlay piece. Yes, it does look like. Yeah, I got what you meant. I like the under in the White Sox.
Yeah, the markets are saying over though, so that's kind of interesting.
If me and my brother got along, I think we would be way better off. I salute the Twins. Appreciate it. Yeah, no, me and my brother are close. Guardians again. Yes, 5-3 finish. I could see that. Steven Kwan 2 hits. Ramirez 2 hits. Get it, dude. Let's go to this game, which could be a weird spot for Cincinnati.
Yeah, it could be. Let's get into it, though. We have Reds and Cardinals. We have the line opened up with the Cardinals as minus 125 favorites. It's 127 now. So we've had 2-cent line movement towards the Cardinals. It did get up to a 129, 130 at one point, but it's come back down a couple cents. Line opened up at an 8 at minus 105. It's now an 8 at minus 110, so a 5-cent line movement towards the over with 98 and 98 on the over. So 23% of tickets and 74% of cash is on the Reds, though. And I understand why the sharp money is on the Reds. We have Andre Palante for the Cardinals, and he'll be taking on Rhett Lauder, who has been phenomenal since making his MLB debut. He has pitched twice. And let me get his exact numbers up. He was, I believe, he was 7th overall in the 2023 draft. He went behind the names of Wyatt Langford and Paul Skeens, and there's another guy. Who's the other? Dylan Cruz as well, who are all in the major leagues now. He's pitched twice. He started off his career with 4 innings of 1-run baseball against the Milwaukee Brewers. They lost that game 14-0, but that was not because of Louder. He only gave up 1 earned run, 1 total run. He follows that up with 6 1/3 shutout innings against the Houston Astros. 3 strikeouts, 4 walks, 4 hits. The one thing I'm worried about is his walks, which has been really high, but we didn't see that in the minor leagues. But I think that was just kind of like nerves. On the other side, Andre Palante, 3.65 ERA, 1.34 whip, 5.84 strikeouts per nine, which is 15%, 4.01 walks per nine, a 257 BABIP, a 4.8 FIP, and a 4.81 SIERA. Bullpen edge goes towards the Reds. Hitting edge goes toward bullpen edge goes towards the Cardinals. Hitting edge goes towards the Cardinals. 101 WRC plus, which is 16th, compared to 97, which is 18th. And for me in this game, I can only look Reds, and I kind of want them early. I like Rhett Louder. It was the first round pick out of Wake Forest. I remember seeing him pitch for Wake Forest. On TV, obviously. I remember watching him back then. He was dominant. And I knew when the Reds draft. I mean, the Reds love their Wake Forest pitchers with Chase Burns on the way up too, which I don't think Chase Burns is thrown at all for minor leagues yet. No. Not many of these pitchers are. I think
neither is Hagen Smith, neither is Trey Savage. So none of the first round pitchers.
I think the only one that has is Cam Caminetti so far, and he was coming out of high school though.
Yeah.
So there's that. I'd like to take a look at this first 5 and just move 5 cents towards St. Louis. I wish the markets would respect the sharp money on the Reds a little bit for me to want to move on this game. It does make me a little bit nervous that the sharp money's on the Reds and the lines moved a couple cents towards the Cardinals. So ultimately, it's a stay off spot for me. I wanted the Reds though in this game. I like Louder. I think he can be a pretty strong pitcher in the major league level.
I'm on the opposite side. I just think it's a bad spot for the for Cincinnati. They went from New York to Atlanta to St. Louis in 3 days.
That is a terrible spot, so I understand that.
And they won the last game against the Mets, and they won last night against Atlanta. I took the Cardinals on the run line because I wanted, if I was going to do it, I was going to take a shot, and I was able to get plus 165 with the Cardinals in this one. So I'm just going to fade the bad spot for the Reds, and I'm taking the Cardinals here.
Fair.
Is Destiny a real name? Yes, it is. It is her legal name. That is correct. Reds upset. Reds up. LA De La Cruz, 1 hit, 1 stolen base parlay. Reds completely give them credit they haven't laid down. They shouldn't. They're a very young team.
I really like the Reds next year.
Reds have had 1 day off in the last 2 weeks. Yeah, bad spot. Cardinals. Yeah, I like the Cardinals today. Let's head to this one, Nick.
Yeah, let's keep it going. I think I saw yesterday it was 15. The magic number for the Astros to win the division is 15. So let's get into it here because we're going to start having to pay attention to those things.
I saw a magic number for Mets to make the playoffs is 18.
Yeah, I saw that. I think I saw that too. This line opened up with the Astros as minus 185 favorites. It's down to a 180. So we do have a 5-cent line movement here towards these Oakland A's. Line opened up in an 8.5 minus 110. It's still an 8.5 at minus 110. We have Oswaldo Bido taking on Spencer Arrighetti. We have 90% of the tickets and 91% of cash on the Astros, with the line moving slightly towards the Oakland A's. And 75% of tickets, 80% of cash on the over, yet this line's moving towards the under. And I believe the last time we saw Spencer Arrighetti, it was a no bueno start for him. He went 0.2 innings. He gave up 3 earned runs, 9 total runs, walked 3 batters, gave up 5 hits, recorded 2 outs, no strikeouts, 38 pitches. So he had a horrible start in his last start, which followed up a absolute dominating performance against the Philadelphia Phillies, where he went 7 2/3 innings of 2-hit baseball with 4 walks and 11 Ks. I think he bounces back in this spot. I don't know if the Astros win this baseball game, though. Arrighetti, or Oswaldo Bido, 2.59 ERA, 0.82 whip, 8.88 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%, 2.59 walks per nine, a 197 BABIP, a 2.6 FIP, and a 3.91 SIERA. On the flip side, Spencer Arrighetti, 3.14 ERA, 1.35 WHIP, 9.9 strikeouts per nine, which is 25%. 4.5 walks per nine, a 269 BABIP, a 4.43 FIP, and a 4.34 Sierra. Bullpen edge goes towards Houston. The Aggies bullpen has kind of regressed a little bit as of late. The hitting edge does go towards Oakland, 119 WRC plus, which is fifth, compared to 115, which is ninth. Both these teams are hitting particularly well, which does scare me a little bit. If I would like to back a full game under in this one. I want to get up the bullpen usage real quick because I haven't done that much for today's show. But I would like to see where these bullpens are right now because this Astros bullpen actually looks pretty taxed. Nobody pitched yesterday, but on Sunday, this Astros bullpen threw a lot. Caleb Ferguson threw 17. He also threw 15 on Saturday. 30 pitches for Ort, 25 pitches for Neris, 24 for Hader, Hernandez 20. Brian Abreu has thrown 5 pitches since Friday. So he's going to be ready to go. Probably Hernandez can be ready to go. Neris can be ready to go. Hader can be ready to go. They all threw less than 30 pitches. So there's that. And on the other side, the Athletics, it's really their long relief guys that threw a decent amount. 25. Also, they had the day off yesterday. Stripling threw 34 on Sunday, 27 for Harris, 25 for Blulack, 13 for Harrison, 12 for Holman. And we haven't seen Mason Miller through since Friday where he threw 30 pitches. So he's fresh and ready to go. These bullpens are fresh and ready to go. The line's moving towards the under. All the money is on the over. I think this is a Arrighetti bounce back start. I would like to move on this under 8.5. I think full game.
Wow, I'm actually against you. I took the over. These two teams have been hitting as of late. You've got the Houston Astros that have gone over in 4 out of 5. The one game they didn't go over was a masterclass by Loudon versus Brown that finished 1-0. Other than that, 12-6, 11-5, 8-0, 12-5. So this team has been hitting really, really well. On the opposite side, you got Oakland, who has also been a heavy over team. They've gone over in 4 out of 5 themselves. And they've gone over in 6 out of 8. So this has been a team that's been on a nice overrun. And it's mostly because, they're hitting, but their pitching has also been really struggling as of late. So I took the over 8.5 in this game. I think you're going to see some more towards the runs in this one, Nick.
Yeah, for me, I had envisioned that I wanted to back Arrighetti in his next start after getting blown up.
I can see that.
And the market is telling me that we see a decent start here from Beto as well, which Beto has pitched pretty well. So I think the last time we don't differ too much on totals. Last time I think we differed on a total. I took under 7.5 with Snell and Snell and it was a Diamondbacks pitcher, Kelly.
Was it that game?
Yes, and the game finished 3-2 at the walk-off. So I remember you took the over because it was the two easy.
Yeah, Snell and Kelly, yeah.
Yeah, so
there goes the mic. Time to fix the microphone. One of us moved, so I guess it decided to.
The wire for that thing is kind of crap. But I got the under 8.5 at -105.
I'm trying.
And
all right, don't move, don't touch the desk. So we're split on this game. Sorry if the microphone was loud. Oakland upset. I could see that. Man, I hate betting on the Astros when they're huge favorites. And our Spaghetti got lit up. Yeah. Bounce back spot for Spaghetti. That being said, first 5 Oakland. A's plus 1.5. I'm seeing minus 160 on by the line. Here we go.
It opened up at 185. So no.
I'm not even going to advertise that one anymore. Rooker home run. Lawrence home run. Lawrence over bases. Lawrence over bases again. Let's do it. No, it's not a $2 mic from Amazon. You're hilarious, though. let's head to the World Series rematch with one team that is nowhere near the playoffs.
Yeah. And by the way, with the mic, I have an arm for it. It's just the new desk is just too thick and it wouldn't fit on it. So I have the arm for it. It doesn't work with the table I'm using. So That's fun. We'll move on though. We have the Texas Rangers and the Arizona Diamondbacks. Zach Gallen, Nathan Eovaldi. Line opened up at a 130. It's up to a 167. A massive move towards these Arizona Diamondbacks. Line opened up at an 8.5 at plus 105. It's now an 8 at plus 105. So a move towards the under here as well. 83% of tickets, 82% of the cash on the over. The lines move towards the under. We have 81% of the tickets and 97% of the cash on the Diamondbacks. The lines moved heavily towards the Diamondbacks here in this spot, which the cash flow makes sense. And I get it. The Diamondbacks are by far the better team here. So I understand the line movement towards them. Nathan Eovaldi has been the better pitcher as of late, though. 2.67 ERA, 0.89 whip. 9 strikeouts per nine, which is 26%. 2 walks per nine, a 232 BABIP, but a 2.81 FIP, and a 3.55 SIERA. Compared to Zach Gallen, 3.68 ERA, a 1.32 whip, 11.05 strikeouts per nine, which is 29%. 2.91 walks per nine, a 3.14 BABIP, a 3.22 FIP, and a 4.05 SIERA. The bullpen edge goes towards the Diamondbacks. The hitting edge goes towards the D-backs as well. 125 WRC plus, which is second, compared to 101, which is 15th for these Rangers. I expect Eovaldi to pitch well in this game, and I expect Gallen to pitch well here too. My cap originally in this game, without looking at the market, was I expect Gallen to be able to pitch well against a soft-hitting Rangers team. Rangers team that massively overperformed last year, and it feels like everybody had careers year last year. They regressed massively. It was the easiest thing to predict in the world. And my question is, what is Eovaldi going to look like against a Diamondbacks team that's hitting the baseball pretty well? The markets are telling me that Gallen actually pitches well, but the total still goes under. So they're saying if there is a vulnerable pitcher here, it is Eovaldi, which I understand. When you look at the bullpen usage here, this Diamondback bullpen, which is awesome, by the way, they're starting to rank close to where the Padres are bullpen-wise, is pretty much fresh and ready to go. With the off day yesterday, AJ Puck through 26 on Sunday should be available. Ryan Thompson through 21 on Sunday should be available. Seawald through 18 on Sunday should be available. So Floro, Cacconi, Puck, Thompson, Seawald, Mantiply, Ginkel, Montgomery, all available to pitch if need be today. On the flip side, the Ranger bullpen, I want to see because they did not play yesterday because the Angels started a new series against the Twins and they were coming in off of that Angels series. The Rangers, their bullpen usage pretty fresh as well. David Robertson through 20 on Sunday should be available. Kirby Yates through 16 on Sunday should be available. And Jose Leclerc through 12 on Sunday should be available. Matt Festa through 25 on Saturday should be fine. Chafin, Urania, Pennington all should be fine as well. I think this is another under for me. I like these Ranger unders a little bit because they've offensively been terrible this year. Now it's gotten better a little bit for them, but I expect both these pitchers to shove in this game. And the fact that this line's moved down half a run with, I believe, all 82 and 83 on the over. 2 pitchers I expect to pitch well. At least one offense that I think could struggle in this game. I think this is an under, and it's an under 8 for me.
I'm not going to get involved in this game. For me, it would be a lean towards going after Gallen and the Arizona Diamondbacks. But the Diamondbacks are just coming back from a 6-game road trip to San Fran and Houston. They did have a day off in between after the Sunday Night Baseball game. This has also been, and as crazy as it sounds, an Arizona team that's kind of been struggling as of late.
A little bit.
Because they went and they were up, 7 games on the Mets at one point? Now it's down to a 1. So and that was, 11 games ago? 12 games ago, something like that. They blew that quickly. It would be a lean towards Arizona for me, but I can't find a reason to really want to go and bet it.
Arizona, Texas under 8.5 for me. And don't get me under 8 minus 115 for me. Don't get me wrong. This is absolutely Arizona or nothing on the side.
Yeah, it's Arizona or nothing, but I'm going to choose nothing.
Yep.
Snakes, Serpents, Snakes, Eugenio Suarez, home run. I got a great line on D-backs this morning, fingers crossed. Walker, 2+ hits. Serpents run line. Jake McCarthy and Corbin Carroll hit parlay. Snakes team total over 5.5 plus 280. I think they're going to smash Snakes healthy at home and will make their playoff push. Jock Pederson plus 965
Home run.
for a home run. Texas bullpen is suspect.
Very.
3+ hits. It's a 4-1, 5-2 type of game. Under is a lost him. When did I bet an under? I bet 1 under today. And it was in the Braves game.
I think he meant me.
Okay. I will say I like to play in this one, Nick.
Yeah, let's get into it. The Seattle Mariners and the San Diego Padres. The Mariners favorites in this game, minus 115, total 7 in this one. Let's take a look at the line history in this game where we have Kirby and Darvish in this one here. Line opened up 105 for Seattle, so 116 for Seattle now. Line opened up at a 7 at even money. It's now a 7 at minus 108. A move towards the over and a move towards Seattle, suggesting Yu Darvish is vulnerable in this game. 98% of tickets, 99% of the cash is on the over in this one. 42% of tickets, 68% of the cash is on the Padres. And the lines move towards the Mariners, which is interesting. 40% of tickets, 54% of cash on the run line for the Mariners. So that's where the sharper money coming in on Seattle is. Let's take a look at the pitching matchup here where we have George Kirby and Yu Darvish. Darvish comes back off of a personal issue. Don't know the details in that. Don't care to get involved with that. He went up against Detroit, went 2 2/3, gave up 3 earned runs on 4 hits, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. On the flip side, we have George Kirby, who has kind of struggled a little bit as of late. 6.23 ERA, 1.58 WHIP, 8.31 strikeouts per nine, which is 20%, 1.73 walks per nine, a 349 BABIP, a 5.64 FIP, and a 4.12 SIERA. The bullpen edge is a massive one towards the Padres. The hitting edge goes towards the Mariners, actually, as of late. 118 WRC plus, which is 6th, compared to 115, which is 8th. Both these teams are actually hitting better as of late. And we have George Kirby that's kind of struggling here. I guess I lean over the total, but just a little too public for me to get involved with. And I would only look at the Mariners in this spot for the sidewise. So maybe it's a Mariners team total. But I don't know what to expect from Yu Darvish. He's still working his way back. So it's enough for me to stay off. But I think I want to watch this game to see what Yu Darvish looks like.
That's fair. I doubled up on this game because this one seems like the too easy under game.
I don't know about that because both these teams have been hitting as of late, and Darvish
But the way that I look at it, Darvish is a household name. Everybody knows Darvish is a really good pitcher. Kirby has been fantastic this year. And the fact, if this was a 7.5, 8, maybe it's a different story. It's at a 7, which is where I try to look for the too easy unders is 7s, 6.5s, and maybe some 7.5s. But when I see a too easy under, because everybody will love to go under because, oh, this game's getting 2-1 or something. I don't think so. And I took a shot, Nick. Give me Seattle. Give me them by the run line. And I got plus 190. Taking a shot with Seattle here. I think the Padres are going to slow down a tad. And this is going to be a very, very interesting wild card race down the stretch. Because currently, if you guys have not been paying attention, San Diego's got the number 1 wild card spot. They're a half game ahead of Arizona, which Arizona is a game ahead of the Mets, which the Mets are a game ahead of the Braves. And that's your wild card right now. That's going to be a really fun race down the stretch. And any of those, you could tell me, you could give me 4 of those teams, say those are going to be the teams. Yeah, honestly. You could tell me the Padres missed the playoffs. I'd be like, yeah, they could. You could tell me Arizona misses the playoffs. Yeah, they could. You could tell me the Mets missed the playoffs. They probably will. And you could tell me the Braves missed the playoffs. Yeah, they could. All of these teams are vulnerable. All of these teams have to run hot at the end of the year. And when I looked at it, Arizona and San Diego have the toughest schedules. The Mets still have to go up against the Phillies for 7 games. They still have to go up against the Braves, so that's not an easy schedule, but destiny is right in front of them. They can see exactly what they need. And they go and they beat those teams. I think they're good to go. But this is going to be a very interesting wild card race. I think San Diego loses today. I think that at the end of the day, all the wild card, the top 3 wild card teams could be within a half a game of each other.
Fair.
Whoever said under snakes, I did not bet the under snakes.
I did bet the under and snakes.
Padres.
And I love when Mr. Numbers calls my plays losers right off the bat because I have a really strong ROI when he does that.
Padres smash, Padres money line, like the over, yes, over. Kirby is the weak link of that staff. Don't like him. Darvish gives up runs. I see a 7. Give me the over. Yes, over. Under, no. 3, no, I don't see that. See you, boys. Long time. All right, see you. Take the Dodgers. Fade Nick. Bye. LOL.
We'll talk about that because
Well, we'll talk about that now.
I am looking to not only fade the Dodgers but double up on it. And as we're speaking, I have just doubled up on it here. Let's get into it. The Chicago Cubs and the LA Dodgers. We have the Dodgers are on minus 155 favorites with a total of 8 in this game. Let's take a look at the line history in this spot here, where the line opened up at a minus 160. It's down to a 156. So we have a 4-cent line moving here towards Chicago. Line opened up in an 8.5 even money, got down to a 7.5 at one point, but back up to an 8, and it's moved 8 cents towards the over to start since the opening line. We have 98% of tickets, 96% of the cash is on the over. The line's moving towards the over. And we have 16% of the tickets, but 51% of the cash is on the Cubs. So sharp money all over the Cubs here in this spot. And why is that? Because they have a massive pitching edge in this game, in my opinion. We have 2 Japanese pitchers, 2 Japanese rookies coming in to this game. Shota Imagana and Yoshinobu Yamamoto. We have Shota Imagana with a 2.70 ERA, a 0.87 whip, 8.1 strikeouts per 9, which is 23%, 2.1 walks per 9, a 169 BABIP, a 4.68 FIP, and a 3.87 SIERA. On the flip side, we have Yoshinobu Yamamoto, which, for those wondering, I'm trying to get up this real quick. The last time we saw Mr. Yamamoto was on June the 15th. He pitched 2 innings, gave up no runs on 1 hit, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, but left the game injured. He is now returned. I don't know what he's done in the minor leagues during his rehab. I kind of would like to see that, but I would like to double down on fading him on his game back here. Why? The bullpen edge goes towards the Cubbies. The hitting edge goes towards the Cubs. Welcome back, Yamamoto. You get the team that is 3rd in baseball against righties the last 30 days, 121 WRC plus compared to 109, which is 6th. Now, I took the Cubbies in the full game over yesterday. I'm doing it a little different today because Shota Imagana, I think, pitches well in this game. And I think this is 4-2 Cubs, something along those lines. Took the Cubs team total over at 3.5 at even money. I took the Cubs money line at plus 140. And this would be a spot that I would double down on without the Dodger fade. I know a lot of these games is, he's only betting it because of the Dodger fade. No, it's part of my cap as well. Like, if you could throw away me betting against the Dodgers every game, if I just cap this game normally, this is a Cubs spot. Sharp money on the Cubs, 19% of the tickets, 51% of the cash on the Cubs. Line moving towards the Cubs. The line moving towards the over, suggesting that Yamamoto is vulnerable on his first game back. The public all over the Dodgers. The line moving away from the Dodgers. I think everything adds up for a double up spot here for the Cubs. I'm on the Cubs team total over 3.5 at even money. I'm on the full game money line for the Cubs as well. I think Magana shoves here.
Normally, I don't bet Dodger games. But when somebody who's normally part of my rotation is pitching, I like to go after it. Magana is one of those guys. He is the 3rd most profitable pitcher in baseball behind Barrios, which I have not touched this year because I don't bet Blue Jay games. And although I bet Blue Jay game today, it's only because another one of my rotation pitchers were on there, which is Peterson. The only pitchers that are ahead of Magana, Barrios and Manaea. And I'm going to continue to back them. Plus, I got plus 145. Sorry, 145. I took the Cubs in this one.
Like,
These two teams only play 4 times this season.
so far, they play one more time after this.
Yep.
And I believe the Cubbies took 2 out of 3 in Wrigley.
Yep. Over 8. Cubs money line. They have the better bullpen. Cubs money line. Is there value on the Cubs as a dog with their ace on the mound? Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, there is. All right, Nick. We'll head over to the WNBA. I will admit, this is the only game I'm interested in. The other one has double-digit road favorites.
I was actually interested in one of the double-digit home dogs, which we'll get into here. As I think our the records are the same from the last time because we didn't move on the one game we talked about. Let me switch over here from baseball to WNBA. This game I'm really fascinated in. The Minnesota Lynx are coming in against the Atlanta Dream in this one. We have the Dream or the Lynx are 4.5-point favorites, total of 156 in this game. It opened up at a 5.5. It's down to a 4.5. So we would move towards the Lynx here. Line opened up at a 160.5. It's now down to a 156. So a massive line move towards the under in this one as well. Usually we don't have too much of sample size. We have actually a decent sample size in this game when it comes to the ticket size. I got nothing on the total, but I have got plenty on the side. 44% of the tickets, 97% of the cash on the spread for the Atlanta Dream, 35 and 82 on the money line for the Atlanta Dream. And I think for me, this cap is this was one I was looking at this morning, and my cap for this one is the Atlanta Dream are going to win this game outright. Because when we look at this situation coming in, the Atlanta Dream are back at home. They lost but covered against the Fever in their last game on the 8th. They were 5-point dogs. They lose by 4 in that game. They won against the Dallas Wings the game before that. Now, the Minnesota Lynx are coming in playing great basketball. They've won 3 in a row and 9 of their last 10 games. They have covered, though, in only 1 of their last 3. They failed to cover as 7.5-point favorites in Washington. They did cover as 3-point road favorites in Indiana. They win but do not cover against the Sky as 13-point favorites, 79-74. They lose outright as 7.5-point favorites against the Wings. Now, this is a tricky schedule. I believe in the Western Conference or Division or whatever, conference, they have basically locked up the 1 seed. I think they need one more win in order to lock up the 1 seed. And when you look at what the Minnesota Lynx have done as of late and who they have coming up, this is the last game of a road trip for them. That was through Indiana and Washington. Also, before that, they had a quick road trip in Phoenix and Dallas, where they had 1 home game against the Chicago Sky, which they won but did not cover in that game. I think this is a tricky situational spot. Then, when you look at Atlanta, they are coming in off of back-to-back overtime games, but they're back at home now, and they have 2 games against Washington coming up, and then Chicago. This is a team that is still fighting for a spot in the playoffs. Now, granted, I don't think they're going to get it, but I am very interested in the Dream in this one. There's still a game behind the Sky for the 8th seed to get crushed by New York, but that's beyond the point. What's stopping us from taking the Dream plus the points in this game? I think it's a terrible spot for these Lynx.
I wasn't really interested in the side, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm on the under. And I know I probably missed a little bit of a line, but I don't really think it's going to matter. I think this one's going to finish under 150. Because I know it could be looking at it this way. Atlanta has gone to overtime the last 2 games. That's why their total is hit 204 and 203. So before that, they've gone under in 3 in a row and 4 out of 5. This team has been an under team as of late, and so has Minnesota, who's gone under in 3 out of 4. The only game that they went over in that stretch was against Indiana. Guess what? Indiana doesn't play defense, so it makes sense why they went over. This has been a Minnesota team that's been really good this year, but I think come playoffs, I think they're going to end up falling and not doing much in the playoffs. But I like the under in this game. I could see this one being more of a tight, low-scoring game. So my only play on today's card for the WNBA for me is the under. I got 156.5.
Fair. I am moving on the Dream. I got a -105 for +4.5. I like Atlanta in this spot. I think this was the game that I had circled as possibly my best bet for the WNBA today. Now, there is a game I'm looking at next game that I'm very, very interested in as well, that I actually wrote down a bunch of numbers for. So I look forward to breaking down that one. But yes, I'm going to be on the links here at +4.5, -105. I don't think the money line's a bad idea either.
There you go. Dream, either links roll or James went outright, no in between. I like the over 2. I like the under. All right, Nick, 2 big road favorites, which I'm not really too big of a fan of these 2 games.
Yeah, I'm a fan of this game because I'm kind of interested in the side in this spot. Let's get into it. We have the New York Liberty taking on the Dallas Wings. The Liberty are anywhere between 9.5 and 10. It was, I think, more 10 when I was looking at it this morning. It is 10 now. This line opened up in a 9.5. It's bounced back and forth between 9.5 and 10, which actually I kind of wanted a 10 for this game in order to back the Wings in this game. I want the Wings. And this is more of an X's and O's cap rather than a market cap for me in this game. Line opened up 170.5. It's now 174, so a big move towards the over, which I guess makes sense. Dallas doesn't really play too much defense. We have 62% of the tickets are on the Liberty. The line's moved from a 9.5 to a 10. And then we have 50% of tickets, 81% of cash on the under. We got this line skyrocketing here in this spot. Now, I don't really touch totals too much in the WNBA. It's just not something that I've capped too much. I've had too much success with. I was looking at the Dallas Wings in this game, and it's not a backing of the Dallas Wings for me, which the Dallas Wings are coming in off of 4 straight losses, and they haven't covered in all 4 of those games. The New York Liberty are coming in on 3 straight wins. They've covered in 1 of them. And the one thing that I've noticed with the New York Liberty this year is they have no problem winning games as double-digit favorites. They are 12-3 straight up in those games. On the road, they're 2-2. At home, they're 10-1. They're 1-3 on the road as double-digit dogs or double-digit favorites. They're 1-10 ATS at home. So maybe this plays a little bit stronger if they're a home favorite rather than a road favorite. But overall, as a double-digit favorite, the New York Liberty are 2-13 ATS this year. I want the Dallas Wings at +10.
Good luck. I will say I'm passing on both these games. At this point in the WNBA season, I don't feel like there's value in going after double-digit spreads. The Liberty kind of have everything locked up, so I understand you want to go after the dog, but I'm personally not going to touch this game.
Fair.
Which we're just going to jump into the next one real quick. I'll let you talk about it, and then we'll jump back to the chat.
Yeah, we have the Connecticut Sun, 11.5-point road favorites. They are taking on the LA Sparks. This line opened up at a 10. It's up to 11.5 now, so we have a decent move towards the Connecticut Sun. Line opened up 158.5. It's now 159, so a move towards the over here as well. As for the cash flow, 74% of the tickets are on the Sparks. We get the lines moving towards the Sun. Tells me probably just the Sun kicks the crap out of them.
Probably.
And then 85% of tickets are on the under, and the lines moved to half point towards the over here in this game. I didn't really read too much into this game. I didn't really look too much into this game. We've had a couple point line movement towards the Sun. I think the Sun probably take care of business. Head-to-head against the LA Sparks, it's been nothing but Sun the last 10 games, 10-0 straight up, 8-2 ATS. So they've done nothing but dominate the Sparks,
Impressive.
Including coming in last game they played 2 days ago, and it was a 79-67 win for the Connecticut Sun against these Sparks. So am I reading too much into this game? No. It's probably Sun or nothing for me, laying the chalk. But do I want to lay this type of chalk on the road? Not particularly. But the only way I can look is Connecticut here.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I'm not touching another double. Once again, I'm not touching a double-digit spread. So I don't feel like there's any use to it. I have really not been looking at the WNBA as much come the end of the regular season. So with everything else going on. But no, I'm not touching this game.
Fair.
Like the over in the Liberty game, Wings plus 9.5, Wings plus 9.5, and the under, Sparks minus 11.5. Sun minus 11.5. Sparks are terrible. I like the under too. I don't blame you on that one. That is all of the games for today's card. Before we jump in, actually, I will say if you want the recap for everything that we have, I'm going to put the CapperTek into the chat.
Go follow me over on CapperTek. When you do, you get a week's worth of plays for free. All you got to do is create an account and follow. So if you guys are interested in that, you guys can go ahead over for that. Make sure you guys are following all the social media links in the description below: YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. Trying to grow all those, and we're posting to those every single day. Nick, do you want to put your CapperTek in the chat?
Yes.
And then we're going to go ahead and head on out for today. We'll see you guys for another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show tomorrow. Till then, peace out, guys.